Vladimirski. Ryan Weir is half the man he used to be, thankfully. All right, we're back. Second episode of the TVT News podcast, and we have an awesome guest today, Mr. Tony Peck, Godfather of Instagram, co-founder of Why Not You Media, and a good friend of mine. Tony, welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
To the show.
I'm very excited to be the first guest.
You have the honor of being the very first guest. And when they look back 20 years from now at this podcast, there's gonna be trivia. Who was the very first guest of the Why Not You of
The TVT News.
Who was the first guest of the TVT News podcast? They're gonna say it was Tony Peck.
There we go.
But we have a very special surprise for you today.
Very special.
As you can see.
As I can see, I was not prepared for this, by the way. Don't know what I was
We've laid out a feast. Okay? Almost all the food made it here today. So we heard that you were a steak lover.
Pretty much an average steak goer, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many times a week you say you eat steak?
Definitely cut it down a little bit because I'm more of a health kick, but probably see me there once a week.
Steak's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, the most I've had was twice in a day. Same steakhouse.
That's
Same
okay.
day. It's
Did you leave or did you stay there for like 8
No, I
hours?
left.
Oh.
Then I came back. Lunch and dinner, come on. If I served breakfast, I'd be there for breakfast too. Can't do that.
I mean, you could. Steak and eggs.
That's true.
Steak and eggs for breakfast is
That's a good point.
can't beat that. So do you like your steak also medium is the way you like your steak?
So I do, but something you're not going to like about this. I used to only eat my steak well done.
Well done.
And I've heard this from a lot of people that grew up in Italian households. A lot of them were grown up eating it well done. Like my grandmother, my parent, everyone just ate it well done. So, okay, I'm getting it well done. That's what I was used to. My grandfather always liked it bloody, bleeding, whatever it was, but no one else had that.
Mooing. He wanted his steak mooing back
Blue
out.
pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And I was always well done. And then as we got into business, we started going out to steak meetings, and if someone ordered whatever it was, I would just eat it. I wasn't going to order I wasn't going to be the well done guys. Everyone's getting medium or medium rare. And I just shut my mouth and I started getting used to it. And I like a better medium. I got to be honest with you.
Well done's a little just too dry half the time, I think.
Extremely dry.
It's like eating a hockey puck.
It's so terrible.
Yeah.
Gianna gets it well done, my girlfriend, and it's like I can't.
have to have a
I can't eat
conversation
this
with her.
anymore. I forced her to get medium well, get used to it, and we'll slowly get down to medium. But it's a day by day. It took me a couple of years, but we've come a long way.
Yeah, my wife's family actually, they only had it well done their whole lives, and when they actually came here to visit for the first time, I cooked them like a medium rare steak, and they now only medium rare.
Never look back.
Never look back.
I believe it.
So we're gonna test you today.
Okay.
We have porterhouses. This was Ryan's idea, first of all. I just want to
Great
put
idea.
that out there. Okay.
I just also really want to eat steak. But
It's a good excuse to eat steak.
He's living his life through you. So we got porterhouses from 3 different places.
Okay.
And we want to know 2 things. If you know where they're from.
Okay.
And we're going to ask you to rate them.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the rating scale? 1 to 10.
We'll go 1 to 10.
Okay. Cool.
1
you
to
guys
10.
Gonna rate them too. You guys got to rate them. Too.
Yeah, we're gonna
Absolutely.
eat them. What do you think? I'm just gonna let you eat all the steak?
I was hoping.
Are you serious?
and of course, Roman couldn't pass up adding the lobster mac and cheese.
That
on
is
it.
Minus the lobster,
by
though.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks very lobster.
I don't know what happened there, but
That's
and
okay.
for the record, this steak came uncut. So in my mind, if I would
Points.
serve this,
Down points.
I would not be very happy. Down points for me. But we're going off of flavor, so I'm not going to hold it against them.
All right. Let's.
Roman also brought plastic utensils.
Very fitting.
Yeah.
Wow. Shots fired at my own podcast. Holy
All right,
shit.
fellas.
All right. So
Shall we dig in?
let's dig in. Well, let's all start with this
we
one
have.
first.
Okay.
All right. Everybody's gonna take a piece of this one. Pass it down to Ryan. All right.
Take, sir.
And just for the record, we know where these steaks are from. The Godfather of Instagram does not
No idea. Going in blind.
know
here.
where they're from. He's going in blind.
Are you going whole bite or just the...
I'm going whole
I'm
bite.
going to go whole bite.
Who's got time to
Cheers, fellas.
bite and cut and
Cheers.
chew?
There's definitely some butter in there.
Lots of butter in there.
That is phenomenal. Lots of flavor.
I like that.
Lots of flavor. Do you know where it's from? No clue. Can I venture a guess?
Postal 22.
Interesting guess. We'll get back to that later.
Okay.
All right. Next.
Does that have the answer?
That's not the answer.
Oh, okay. Do
That's
I get
not.
a hint?
No.
I'll tell you after.
What town?
They don't give it away.
I couldn't do that either.
It's hard in Westchester because, like,
Yeah, there's
I
one
think each
steakhouse per
town,
town.
That's true.
each town has a steakhouse that they're known for. I think
That's true.
right? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
There's multiple steakhouses in 8 towns.
Well, if you bring in the chains,
I don't count those as real steakhouses.
no.
You guys chain steakhouse goers?
Well, you did say that Texas Roadhouse
Yes,
does have
sorry.
a good steak.
Texas
Really?
Roadhouse does, but you also, they have a meat locker in front, and you get to choose the cut that you want. And I will say, every time you ask them for the temperature, medium rare, comes out exactly the way it should be.
Didn't know that. Listen, I'm a fan of change when you're venturing to a place that you've never been before. They're a safe place.
Yeah.
That's how I look at chains. That's my view on chains.
They also have cinnamon butter that goes on the
I
house
hate cinnamon,
rolls.
gonna be honest.
What?
Yeah, not a cinnamon guy. Long story. Was in AC once when I was younger. Went to the all-you-can-eat buffet. After the buffet, went to, I think, Cinnabon. Yeah, pretty much Cinnabon. Oh, Auntie Anne's. And I got cinnamon pretzels. And that's the last thing I remember before violently puking the rest of the night.
I guess we don't have to eat the steak
Not
anymore.
a cinnamon
Guess
guy
we'll
anymore.
cut out
no,
Texas Roadhouse.
steak.
Good thing I didn't bring the rolls.
All right. Let's go into steak number 2.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Grab one. Thank you very much. This one,
See?
so we did order all of the medium. I have to say, this one seems a little bit overcooked to me.
Definitely a little overcooked.
I think it looks a little crispier on the outside.
Yeah.
You weren't going to cleanse your palate with some mac and cheese?
No.
You know what? That's not a bad idea, Ryan.
You think we should do that?
We
think it's a
cleanse.
good
We
idea.
cleanse later.
I
Okay.
don't know. Tony says
Me and Ryan gonna cleanse down.
I'm
You
gonna
guys cleanse.
cleanse.
You guys cleanse. Go ahead.
The
I'll just
lobsterless
watch you.
mac and cheese.
Animals.
Let's go mac and cheese. Where's this one from? Which of these?
That came with the one that's in front of you.
Gotcha.
And we like the mac and cheese, so the mac and cheese is a plus. So does that give points to the steak? Or we
No.
don't know yet.
Purely off a steak.
Off a steak.
Off a steak, that's it.
Okay, let's
Gotta
do
be
it.
fair.
Ah.
Strictly just to cleanse the palate.
I could tell right off the bat. So the flavor's phenomenal, actually. I think flavor's good. But I could tell without even chewing it that this was going to be too much for me to chew in one shot. Mm-hmm. As you guys are struggling right now.
I think it's a tiny bigger cut too. But
It was elevated.
I think it's a little more tender than the other one.
I couldn't disagree more.
Tender, but crispy on the outside, the way a steak should be done.
I don't know. I have a hard time agreeing with that too. And that one's a little more tender. I do like this outside crispier though. It's nice,
Yeah.
nice amount of flavor.
Yeah, I do agree with the flavor. I do agree.
Again, lots of butter as well.
Well, butter is the key to a good steak.
This one definitely a lot more butter. Like you can
That
see the
one was
coat of butter.
drenched.
But you guys would agree, like, butter is literally the key ingredient to a
You
good
need
steak,
it? Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
right? Not oil.
No, definitely not oil.
Butter, salt, pepper,
Butter and spices.
right? And Ryan does the thing.
Yeah. Well,
There you go. All right.
we didn't get a steak from his place. That might be a
It's
one
a little,
shot.
it's a little out of budget.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. That's
Yeah.
We do another one. We'll just do one steak.
one slice of steak.
Cut in 3 squares.
23, please.
No gold flakes.
All right, let's get the next one.
I don't get to guess about this one.
You can guess.
Oh, you want to guess? I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know which one is. I think one of these. I think this one might be Flames.
Flames? Interesting guess.
This got to be. The
Are
ones.
you sure?
I don't know. I'm not
But we're
100%
wait. Are we
sure.
waiting? We're waiting to give the
Yes,
answer.
we
Oh,
gotta
wait.
wait,
I just
we
want to
gotta
get his mind,
Yeah, thank
rolling a little bit.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm rolling. I'm thinking here.
Cool. All right. Love
We
it.
know
Let's
so
do
many
it.
places.
We'll go with this one.
Yes. Pass on to
This
Roman.
was hand cut by Ryan.
Beautiful cutting job.
Beautiful cut job for sure, Ryan. I applaud it. See, this is another one that I think I have to cut into half.
That's a little piece. Come on. That's embarrassing, Roman.
I eat
Can't
like a
believe you know on the
child.
show.
You do eat like a
I
child.
do eat like a
Just
child.
like you.
I'm not a skinny dude, but I can't put away a lot
You ever had shepherd's
in
Something
one
like that?
shot. Yeah,
It's fair.
even as a kid.
You ever have shepherd's pie before?
I have.
You ever seen this guy eat shepherd's pie?
No.
It's ridiculous.
Why?
Picks his peas out, like flicks them like a little
I
2-year-old.
think peas are the most disgusting vegetable. Why would you eat it and we didn't start?
Sorry, I was just staring at
Okay,
it.
so
It
I
just-
guess at this
I
point,
guess we
we're
gotta
going in.
go.
oh,
This one's actually, I think, a little more tender than that one.
A lot of flavor. That was good.
A lot of flavor.
I like that.
I think it's also a little more rare than. Those.
Yes.
Yes. Well, this is not medium.
No.
No, that's medium well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for Gianna.
Yeah.
Later.
Literally.
I will have some of the mac and cheese now. Now, what was your favorite steak?
And why is it your favorite steak?
It's a tough question.
Decisions.
If I go with the more buttery one, clearly shows my love for butter.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I'm not going to go with that one. I think for a pure steak perspective, this one had, I think, the least butter. But I think it had the most flavor.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go with this one.
That's your favorite steak.
That's my favorite steak.
Is that your final answer?
I don't know. We get another bite.
Yeah.
Of course you get
Another
another
bite.
bite.
Again.
I'm taking another one. This is my
Cut this in
favorite.
half.
Don't let us, steer you in a particular direction. There is no wrong answer. They're
Well,
all
collusion
they're good
going on here.
steaks. Don't let the guys off camera lead you in a different direction with their chit chats.
They're pointing at different steaks behind.
I
the camera.
know.
You guys can't see this.
I think the steak also has a little more seasoning on it.
Oh, this is not my favorite.
Not your favorite.
Try one of these, Roman.
I do not actually. I specifically ordered the mac and cheese so that I can devour a good portion of it. I really wish they gave me lobster though.
Very tough choice. Final bite.
Wait, did you guys mix them around? Do we know which one's which?
Yeah, I do.
that
I
one
do.
by
I
you
was
was the
keeping
one
an
here.
eye on it.
All right. It's like when you're at Yankee Stadium and they got the game, the hats that are moving around.
I have to cut that one. It's a little.
I'm gonna go with this one.
That's your favorite,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
and this is your second.
That's my second. This is my third.
That's your third.
Yep. First, second, third.
Okay. So how do you want to do this, Ryan? Do you want to go back to him guessing?
Well, I want to hear what you guys' answers are too before we get the places.
Well,
I know you know the places, but
the one in front of Ryan is my first.
likewise. There we go.
This one is my second. That one is my third.
I'm actually going to agree with you.
Same
Wow.
order too.
This
All
is
the
just
same.
this
So-
is just buttery delicious.
Mhm.
Really nice. It actually the second piece I had is a little more crispy on top, so I'm actually liking this. That just has really good seasoning on the outside.
That's a nice steak. Like
I agree.
Off the
Yeah.
grill, I don't think they put much
No,
of the other stuff on it, which is nice.
it is
It
nice.
was good, but that's gonna be my least favorite. This is taking home the bacon for this day.
All right. Drum roll.
You gotta start from the last. and work your
From
way
the
up.
last?
Yeah, of course. Come
All
on.
right.
You gotta do it right.
I'll go with the last. That was Flames.
Which one?
The last one.
No, Briarcliff or Elmsford.
Elmsford.
Okay, there we go.
Ow, whoa.
Two different owners. Gotta be fair here.
Okay. Flames and Elmsford.
Okay.
Ryan,
I
do you
said
want?
Flames for this one.
You did, but I wasn't going to give you the answer right then and there.
Motherfuckers.
No, there's a
That's
system
right,
to
you
this.
good.
Where do you think that one's from?
Yeah, if you had to guess where this is from.
What's that place called? Is it in Elmsford or White Plains? I forget the name. Henry's, maybe? Is that a name? Am I wrong?
Henry's?
No, could be wrong.
I'll have to look that one up.
If that's someplace new, I need to go there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a steakhouse. It's a restaurant. Maybe it's a steakhouse. I don't know.
Maybe they actually serve lobster mac and cheese.
Don't get your hopes up. Where did you get the lobster, the mac and cheese from? Was it
Flames.
from
Flames.
Makes sense. You know.
Fair enough. Good mac and cheese, though.
It is very good mac and cheese.
All right, where's the steak from?
Drum roll. Go ahead, Ryan.
You sure you want to know?
Ryan's house?
Nope.
That was actually one of my plans, but no, I didn't do it. It's from Outback.
No way.
Outback
Really?
Steakhouse, Central Avenue.
Wow. That was solid.
Yeah.
Beach Flames. Sorry to say that. But it's a very sad reality here at this table.
I thought you were going to stick with it as your
When
number
you were there
one.
as your favorite, I was like, this is awesome.
After I had the second bite of this, I said, no, this is definitely the number one. Like, for sure.
All right.
All right.
Where's number one from?
I said Posto. Mm-hmm. That's all I got for you out of that, but
Okay.
I'll let you guys throw where it is. I don't know.
One more guess?
Is it Benjamin's?
No.
Hell no.
We didn't want to do Benjamin's.
Is it Z Prime?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm not just throwing out steakhouses here locally. Where else is there a steakhouse here? I don't know.
This is Lenny's.
Oh, it is Lenny's. You said there's no Lenny's.
That's what
I never said Lenny's.
No, you didn't say Lenny's, but we were talking about before, and you said it's not a place that he normally goes to.
What?
Yeah, you did say that.
Did I?
Yeah.
Let
Wasn't thinking, but I was just gonna let
Sorry.
it, go on the fly.
Camera crew's nodding in agreement over here. Consensus
No.
is yes, Mr. Roman lied.
What sucks is this time when I say I didn't do something, now there's actual footage
Back to this
to
piece
back
here.
it up. Oh man. So Tony, like you've been working with me now for like 2 years now, and you've helped me grow my social media, you've helped me grow my business, you've helped me grow my, the way that I am on camera, my comfortability with it, and you've helped grow my team too. This last year, you, Francis, Michael, the entire team. What are you seeing for 2023 in terms of like what direction are we going with this whole content boom thing? Everybody's trying to put the next viral video out there. Like what can somebody like us, small business owners,
Yep.
more local, like we're not a national brand, not yet. Like right? Like how can a small local business, grow by throwing content out there.
I believe, and I say this for a very long time, and I'm going to still stick to this, is just like when you open up a door, you have two routes. You can open up with one key or as a combination to get in. And social media and success on these platforms, it's a combination of multiple things. It's never going to be just one thing that's going to have success for you. But in your example with these smaller businesses, one, they got to stop chasing virality. Because when you're constantly chasing it and then you don't get it, you become more upset, more discouraged, and you end up not being as consistent as you need to be.
Right.
So consistency is one of those pieces of the combination. But further past that right now, especially in 2023, video content, that is going to be king. Predominantly on every single platform, video is the way to go.
No pictures.
I mean, if you want to sprinkle in some pictures here and there, absolutely. But video, picture, right? Video is going to be the most dominant thing on all these platforms. And consumers, they're used to watching and consuming videos on all these platforms now too. So, and also these platforms are also pushing videos versus photos. So you want to lean into what these platforms are going to push for you. So video content, one, which is hard for a lot of people because they're afraid to be on camera, kind of like what you guys just said in the first episode. And it is a hard thing to get used to being in front of the camera and not caring about the opinions of others. But I put out a story actually earlier today, and you never want the opinion of someone else's belief of you to hold you back from the opinion that you have of yourself. And that's because a lot of people have judgment, and they're worried about this judgment from other people about when they're on camera. Oh my God, they're going to make fun of me. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. So you have to overcome that fear. Especially if you're in business, you have to understand that these people, the potential judgment from others, is going to hold you back from getting to a level where you deserve to be. But if you're going to think that their opinions are going to hold you back, then you're not going to get to where you want to be.
But not for nothing, that person who's judging you and who has a problem with whatever you're putting out, they're probably afraid themselves.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's like going back to kindergarten, right?
They project what their insecurity is. But people get so caught up in that, and they can't, because it's going to hold them back from achieving the best version of themselves and their business. But on top of that, a lot of people complain about these algorithms and like the lack of reach. And of course, reach is always going to become less, and it's a supply and demand thing. As more people come on these platforms, they're going to lessen it because they want you to pay for advertising. Bottom line is, and it's always going to be, you have to engage. Look at social media. It's meant to be social. Engage. My algorithm, I don't complain about my reach. It's not a thing to me because I'm constantly engaging with people. If you use these platforms where they're meant for to actually make real connections, it's going to come. It's going to come in time. You're going to get an audience. And content-wise, what can people put out? That's always one of the biggest questions too. What can I put out? I don't know what to put out. Well, if you're in business, talk about your business. Talk about what it is you know in your industry. Maybe you've been doing whatever it is that you're in for 10, 20 years. You know a lot more than the average person. To you, it might be second nature, and you might not think it's important or people don't know it, but the reality is they don't. Yeah. You've been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years, even 5 years or 2 years in the business. You know more than the average person in your industry. Then that is not in that industry, right? Yeah. So just putting out educational information about what it is you know, giving people tips, advice, ideas, right? That's one route to go. That's a great route. Then show things that you like. Show your personality. I mean, I post my cigar reviews. Post that stuff. Post stuff that you're into. You have a family. Show that. Because, again, that's all stuff that's going to make you more relatable to the consumer that you're going after. And I think we're all aware we're in a seller's economy, especially since the internet came about. We're constantly being sold to between email marketing, social media, text messaging marketing now, phone call solicitations. It never ends. Yeah. So the way to really penetrate and get to the consumer is by building trust. And the more you're able to show who you are and your authentic self, you're going to be able to build a deeper layer of trust with that audience to be able to help convert into them becoming a customer for you.
And go ahead, you want to say something?
I was going to say, I just think a lot of people just overthink it. And I know when I first started doing this, I was overthinking everything that I'm going to put on the stories or the videos. But, people want to see like what you do on a daily kind of thing. They don't want to you don't want to have to just make something up on the fly. It's kind of just, they want to see what you're doing out there, business, personal life. In the beginning, before I even joined TVT, I would just put like open house this weekend or that, and thinking I was going to get a lot of
just listed, just sold.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'll get into the rant on that.
Didn't get anywhere.
Wait. In contract.
Yeah.
That's a good example you guys bring this. You guys are in real estate, and I'll hit on something that I've constantly talking about for the last couple of years, is a lot of realtors make that same mistake of all they post is the in contract, the just sold, just listed, the open house, which at the end of the day, if I'm a consumer, and I'm looking for a realtor, we got to think as a regular consumer, right? They're going to assume every single realtor can do exactly the same thing as another realtor, right? In the generality of things, they can all help you buy and sell, right? So now, if you guys are all posting the same shit of just listed, just sold in contract, why am I going to pick Roman over Ryan? Ryan over Emily, or Emily over Karen? You guys are all fucking same. Well, there's no differentiation there, right? So taking a step out of it and saying, how do I just show who I am, and putting that stuff out, that's going to give the audience, okay, I like Roman. I like Ryan. And now that you guys just happen to be able to do what it is I need to be done. And they're going to use you because they like you, or they feel like they already know you. And that's one of the biggest things with social media. It's almost your ability to stay front and center and keep your warm market and new people knowing about you along the way at a scalable amount of time. Like, you can't talk to as many people that can watch your content every day. It's just not possible, especially when you're running a business, right? Just there's not enough hours in the day. But by being able to use these platforms, you're able to keep yourself front and center at a scalable amount and let them see you along your journey. And then as they watch you along your journey, they feel a part of your journey without even having to be a part of it. It's the craziest thing, but it's true, because now they see you with your kids,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh my God, he's a father, right?" And that you get that feel good stuff. And you're in business, and you're with your wife, and you're doing this, and you're doing that. You're into sports. You got the shoes. So then you're showing so many elements of who you are. I'm gonna like you now.
Yeah.
And then when I think of real estate, I used to think of the guy that I like. That's what it comes down to.
And people don't realize, like, big corporations do the exact same thing. Like, think of Coke versus Pepsi, right? Imagine if they, sold 50,000 cans of Pepsi today. Okay, great. But each company has their own personality, right? Like, Pepsi has all the commercials. Like, they're new, they're young, they're hip, they're doing the Super Bowl halftime show, they're doing this and that. Coke, old school, all-American kind of company, and they both gravitate toward different groups of people.
Exactly.
And that's their personality. And I think small businesses need to realize that. Like, don't be afraid to show yourselves beyond the business.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a funny person, you're comical, put that out there.
Yeah.
Or if you're more serious, that's okay. Be more serious.
Right.
Like, people just get so caught up. Oh, they're not going to like who I am. You're gonna find your tribe.
Somebody's going to like who you are.
Somebody's going to listen.
Somebody out there likes the worst piece of shit human.
It's true.
Somebody out there likes
Very
it.
true. Listen, I was a 300-pound Italian man on a tracksuit, smoking cigars with jewelry on, and had cash, and I was the godfather of Instagram. People like that. Like, it was. I didn't think who was going to like that, but I said I'm going to.
There's a niche for everything.
There's a niche for everything.
Yeah.
You're going to find the people that gravitate, and the best thing is, the people that like you are going to gravitate towards you, and you're going to start to find people that support you because of that, because they already like who you are. You're not finding people that don't like you that are going to follow you and stay watching you. You're going to find people that do like you.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, wow, there's so many more people than I thought. And you can connect with them. Again, the connection, I think, is the biggest thing when it comes to social.
So I was going to add that I think that, with the social media, that you're already building relationships, even though they're virtual and we see each other through these social media apps, we're building relationships before we actually meet them in person. So, when we get leads, off the internet and stuff like that, and we've never met them before, you still have to actually build that relationship. With the social media, they already know who you are. You're already on the same page. You kind of get each other. When you get one of these random leads in, you still got to sit down, have a buyer consultation with them. If you just don't connect, there's no vibe. You don't get anything out of it. Obviously you want to get as many people in the door as possible, but like with those up front, you're actually building a relationship up front, and they already know who you are, and it just makes the process 10 times easier. And then it turns into more of like a friend than actually just a business partner.
And we've had people come in and they're like, "Oh my God, we feel like we already know you guys."
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
That's like a big holy shit realization.
Huge. Huge. You don't realize how big it is either until you're doing it without it, and you're like you said, the difference to see is incredible. And it's like almost a way you're building. I don't want to say it like this, because it sounds almost a negative way, but it's not. You're almost building relationships passively. Like
yes.
Putting out content day in and day out, because you're not targeting one individual.
No,
you're just shooting out to as many people as you can. But the people that are picking up on it, they're building a relationship with you without you even conversing with them sometimes.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time too when we're out and I'm seeing people that I haven't seen in a while, I've never met before in my life, but they knew me from social. They never ask me, "What have you been up to?" They'll mention something that I've was up to, which is like the crazy. And I never really thought. I started thinking about this maybe a year ago. I was like, that's a really crazy realization when people don't ask you, "What have you been up to?" They're just bringing up things that they've seen you be up to. And I didn't have to tell them about it. They're just watching along. Like, that's powerful shit. You're able to tell people at scale what it is you're doing, who you're working with, how you're helping people, giving them help, giving advice, showing what you're doing day to day. And you're able to build relationships that way. It's really an amazing thing.
For example, I know exactly why you have some color to you today.
Yes, there you go.
Just came back from Jamaica.
I did, yeah.
How was it?
Yes, it was nice.
It was nice?
It was nice. It was very hot, very very strong sun. My legs are burnt. I've never had burnt legs before.
Oh, a good steak.
Not really, no, I'll be honest with you.
No.
I went to Sandals. Listen, it's good, all-inclusive. Get all the food, all the drink. But the quality of the food's like, it's good. But there's some really good places. Westchester got Lenny's Steak. Can't really compare. So
that was awesome.
Yeah, nice little plug right there.
So I came to like a real crazy realization. I just want to share a quick story, again about like the social media, and like people of all ages are watching videos from 2 years old to 85 years old. Like they're watching videos, they're engaging in content. And I had a crazy like aha moment at home with my daughter. So all she wants to do is watch videos of herself. So I find myself throughout the day trying to capture videos of her so that I can later show them back to her, because she gets bored with old videos, and I have to constantly keep up with her desire to watch herself. It's the craziest thing. So it's like it's getting younger and younger as it goes on. So like why I just still find it hard to believe why people don't participate more.
She's a TVT natural.
She really is. She's dude. You wait.
She'll be
She's
perfect,
gonna
yeah.
kick everyone's ass.
100%.
Hell
Or
yeah.
that young, forget about it. I wish.
She's not even 2.
That's wild.
She just plops herself down on my lap, just phone videos. I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing now.
That's awesome. But I don't know. I think a lot of people, it's a combination of, again, fear, right? They have fear from the potential opinions and judgment of others. I think that's one of it. And the other thing is, some people are a little stubborn and they're, I don't need it. It can't help me. You know, this isn't good. My audience isn't there. Who's going to see it? You know, I think there's so many things like that. What am I going to talk about? There's just so many things that they're excuses at the end of the day. It's all nonsense. We all had to overcome every single excuse that these people come up with to be able to get content, build a brand. And at the end of the day, if you really want to get out there and build your business, you'll find what makes the most sense for you on social. You're going to figure it out. But again, if you're not even in the game, you can't score.
Get in the game. Because I follow you on Instagram, because you document every minute of your life. I know everywhere you go and everything you do. Not to sound stalkerish, but you're yeah. Sorry, please don't get a restraining order.
Thank you. I'll give you an autograph for your room.
Woohoo! You're a master networker. Like every networking event out there, you are there. You make it a point to be there. I know you have a very strict schedule, and you make it a point to go to every event. Something that I struggle with, the act of walking up to somebody and making that awkward small talk, right? How do you do it? And tell us why it's important.
So I'll start with how, because I think that's an easy answer. What's the worst that could happen?
You're standing there with a drink in your hand and saying nothing and staring into someone's eyes.
And guess what? I go to the next person. There's 50 people. There's 100 people in the room. Who cares? I think it's very similar to my mentality with online content, where you're going to find someone that does like you and that you get along with. Your vibes match. Same thing with in-person networking. You know, you go to the next person. You don't get along. It's not a good fit. Just go. It's awkward. You guys can't really strike a conversation. Move to the next person. Like, it's complete. You know how many times it's happened to me in the beginning where it was just like, okay, wasn't really a good flow, a little awkward. Here's my business card. I'll take yours, and just go in your separate ways to the next person. Then by the end of the event, maybe you spoke to 20 people. It's like dating. You know, you got maybe talk to 20 people to find that one, right?
It's like doing the Irish exit over and over again.
There you go.
Well, it's fun. So like
I mean,
even
networking events with the drinks, it could be very similar.
so I would be the guy at the bar with my drink in my hand, waiting for someone to come up to me, just staring.
You're that guy?
I'm that guy.
I mean, you're the creepy, unapproachable guy then.
Sure.
I look at it that way, right?
Thank God I'm not in the dating world, because that's what I would do too.
I'm already looking at what's Tony doing right now.
Well, something that's really effective too in networking, especially if you are more on the shy side, you know, let's be really,
Wingman.
practical here. Literally, go with people or someone that you know. You know, someone in a different industry than you, or maybe, you know, obviously you guys on the same team, go together. But if not, you go with someone that's in a different industry, but you guys can still benefit from that same event. And at least you have another person there. And then you can penetrate groups of people. So now instead of going up to an individual, because you're an individual, you can now go to a group of 3, 4, 5 other people, because now it's you too. And then they'll be like, hey, what do you guys do? Oh, we do this. And then that's it. And the conversation starts from there. Maybe people like the person you're with more, whatever the case is. Now at least you have someone with you. It makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, I guess, so to say. But at the end of the day, to me, like I said, the biggest thing is what's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to walk out and not talk again. Okay, big deal. I'll still walk out with a connection one way or another because I'm talking to so many different people. So I think that's a big thing of how to overcome it. And I think, you know, one of the major reasons to go out to these events is obviously one, to meet new people. But I think it's super important if you're building a brand online and there are people locally that are following that you've never met, it's good to continually show face at different places because you never know who you're going to run into. And I can't tell you, because I couldn't count on my hands or my toes, how many times this has happened when I've gone out to an event and I've gone to events that are 2 hours away from here where I know no one. And I'll walk in and someone will spot me that knows me from Instagram and we'll connect for the first time ever. And that might be the only time I ever see them. But I gave them a person to that face that they see online. And that's one of the most important things you can do because you never know who's watching and you never know where they're going to be. And if you keep going to these different events, you're giving people the opportunity to actually put a real face to this online persona that they constantly just see through a screen. And I think that's really a great way to build relationships. Like you said, they're already following along your journey. They kind of feel like they know you, but they never actually met you. And now once they meet you, that's huge. And so many times it's struck great conversations. It's struck, you know, them becoming clients. It's struck them giving referrals because they finally saw me in person. They thought of someone because now I'm standing in front of them. So just a lot of perks about it. So I think that's why I'm a really big believer in going to all these networking events because, like I said, the more hands you shake, the more money you can make.
I've read that somewhere before. I'm trying to think of where, but I can't.
That would be like the Bash Brothers of networking groups.
Or we could be like a night at the Roxbury.
Oh my god. I'll stick with bachelors.
We could have Bernie. Oh god. But no, so I've mentally committed to try to go to 2 networking events a month in 2023.
How many do you go to so far in January?
0.
How many days we got left?
6.
Good thing is there's 2 events I'm going to tomorrow night if you want to tag along.
2 tomorrow night.
2 tomorrow night, both 6 to 9.
Holy shit.
One
there.
in Westchester, one in Connecticut.
All right, Ryan Weir will be my representative.
There we go. That's all I
Wait,
can
how do
do.
you say my name?
Ryan Weir.
Oh, okay. It's not like
I know your name.
I got it.
Tough one to spell.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, listen, Tony, thanks so much for coming on today. You definitely gave a lot of awesome information. We look forward to continuously growing with you and doing business together. And don't forget, guys, like, subscribe. We're gonna have a lot more awesome guests, and I will see you next time.